What's up, everybody? This is your boy Abe, and you're now tuned in to the most exciting show coming out of a tub, BPI Sports Podcast, The Scoop. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Abe, and welcome back to The Scoop. Today, my guest is a young man by the age of 22. His name is Jordan, and he's straight out of Jamaica, and this guy is going to be, what I like to say, a seen it first here. Not on The Scoop, but at BPI. This guy is an amazing power lifter. I mean, I've yet to see something like this at this age. So today, my guest, Jordan. Jordan, give us a breakdown. Give us a breakdown to when you got into powerlifting and how.
Yeah, so I got into powerlifting right after high school. I just wanted something to do, spend some time, before I would have to go off to college. Because my career choice was basically maybe going to engineering.
Okay.
But after I started going to the gym and I really started liking it, I was like, you know what, maybe engineering might not be my thing. Maybe I can go to, sports nutrition, physical therapy, physical training, strength training, things like that.
Nice.
Because after I started training, it was hooked. After you
fell in
first
love.
tried something, you just you're like, okay,
Yeah.
It just changed everything. That's all it was.
All right, cool. I feel you on that. Now, when you started training, did you set a goal? And was that something that you set out the gate that you've achieved or accomplished, or?
Nah, so basically when I first started going to the gym, I was just there, normal guy, nothing special, just walking around. Then this older gentleman came up to me and was like, hey, man, you got a little bit of strength. Let me show you something. So he first started showing me how to squat, how to bench, how to deadlift.
Okay.
And then after a while, I just kept going to the gym, kept seeing him. He kept helping me train. I just kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and it just kept going further and further from there. But my goal was never really powerlifting. It was just like, I like bigger numbers.
Cool.
I just like bigger numbers. That's all it was. I just kept going.
All right. So you're a little bit addicted to it. You just got to see it keep going.
Definitely.
Has to keep rising. So this gentleman is your coach, your mentor.
Yeah. So basically in the gym, we call him coach because he's the most knowledgeable person in our gym, basically. He's been doing it for decades. Lifting. He's a nut. He's a complete iron bug.
Is this the gentleman I saw at BBL with you?
Definitely.
What's his name?
His name is Greg.
Greg? Big shout out to Greg. Greg, whatever the work is that you're doing, brother, it is definitely beyond working. I mean, man, you're crushing it right here. So if he's Miyagi, you're definitely his Daniel's son if you picked up on that one.
Wax off.
I mean, dude, you definitely got it down packed. So whatever Greg is teaching you, I mean, dude, he needs to be teaching a lot more people. I don't mean for him to take away time from you and your guys' training, but man, he's on to something. And he knows a little more than the average person. I can tell you that much.
Definitely. We have other people in the gym training, but I'm more of right now I'm like his poster boy. Like, you see that? I could get you there.
Dude, I mean, you're beyond the poster.
Strong.
I mean,
it's like everyone that comes in the gym, they're like, I want to be like that. They're
of course.
But they don't really understand just how dark it gets to get to that level. It's the work that you have to put in to be a high-level athlete, no matter what your profession is, it's beyond belief.
Yeah.
Like, some days you'll wake up and your body's just like, no. But you have to do it because it's all about discipline.
I just dropped something actually on my IG when you were back there, and you squatted 585, pretty much like it was nothing.
Pause rep.
And straight up, straight pause rep. You paused it at the bottom, asked the graphs, just cut that out. Paused at the bottom, and then repped it like it was nothing, explosively. When I saw you do it and I recorded it, I was like, wow. I'm like, you want to know what's crazy? The weights weren't even rattling. I mean, usually when somebody goes down, their muscles taking it on, they'll start to rattle, and then they come up and it's explosive. It's like your technique was so flawless, just like you showed us in the videos, and you just drilled right through it.
So basically all that is just time under the bar. If I can be honest, I've probably failed more times than someone else has tried. I'm sure you heard that before.
Yeah.
But I've done over the past years thousands of reps. Not kidding. if I go to the gym twice a week, when I first started training, I'll go to the gym 5, 6, 7 days a week. I'll squat 4 times a week just because I just love lifting.
Well, yeah, I saw your IG. It's just like scroll after scroll of just
squat.
Yeah, like it looks like almost like you're selling that squat rack.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's happening here? Oh, okay, I see what's happening here. And then I see you backing out, and it's like, okay, cool, this guy's about to crush it. What is your Instagram handle?
Jordan1AF.
Jordan1AF.
Yeah.
So if anybody's listening and you just got in, before you get off, make sure to follow up and look at Jordan's page. You guys are going to be blown the hell away. Now coming into it. Greg, it was, right?
Yeah.
Coach. So working with him, has he ever, and if this is something you feel free to share or that you're comfortable with, do you run a specific diet for your training when you're powerlifting? Like
for me personally, it's more of a free-for-all. Only thing that really matters is that I getting enough calories, enough protein, enough carbs so I can recover properly for the next workout. But as to what specifically that I eat, it's completely different.
Like I'm not trying to bash anybody, like all those strongmen and power lifters.
Yeah.
I mean,
you got to do what you got to do.
They typically don't have the greatest of physique. So
No.
some people think they can't look like you, yet lift what they're lifting.
That's the problem. They have this preconceived notion that I guess a powerlifter is just this really big fat guy that just lifts a lot of weight. When in reality, if most people who don't know what a powerlifter is, if you showed them an average powerlifter, they'll be like, oh, that guy's a bodybuilder. Because usually the best powerlifter is the one that has the most muscle within his weight class. Now, you can't get too lean because that will negatively affect your strength. But you're going to be pretty lean when it comes to contest prep because you want to maximize the most amount of muscle you have within that weight class.
Yeah.
But not be too lean.
Okay, gotcha. So I got it when you broke it down and you said the amount of carbs, proteins, calories that you're going to need for your muscles to recover and so forth. Like, as well for this diet, I'm sure you're going to need specific meals and a specific standard through the days before going into the gym and setting your training. Like, is that something as well that you have to like kind of like meal prep, or it's like you said, it's kind of like a free for all? Like,
well, I usually, since I'm still like living with my mom, so everything's home cooked, so I'll pretty much know what she'll make today, tomorrow, or whenever, and I'll program my diet around that. So if I know today's Sunday, I have a heavy squat of like 650 tomorrow, maybe more. I'll eat up as much food as I can the day before because muscle glycogen, it takes a while to build up.
Of course.
So you have to eat the day before and not just the day of the lift or you'll be in trouble. Okay. And make sure if you're going to be lifting heavy, you don't eat too soon after you lift. So you want to leave maybe 2 or 3 hours before you actually start warming up and lifting so your body's not busy digesting food.
Nice. Okay, cool. And then you also, when obviously you're more homegrown, you like to eat at home. You're not binging on fast food or loading up on fries or anything like that. You're straight to the T with that. And you notice, you stronger when those meals are in effect, or it's just something you just gotta you map it out and you just go with it.
Yeah, I definitely do not. I just don't like junk food generally because growing up in Jamaica, everything was completely clean. Everything you ate just came from like your auntie's backyard because she was farming.
I gotcha.
Everything was super clean.
I gotcha. I'm running a trainer right now on a bigger arms program. I got people eating Pop-Tarts before their workouts or after. So, just trying to help some people out there, myself, and make sure they're getting treated as well. Yeah. But that's good, man. It's nice to see that you have not so much a strict passion on it, because you do have to eat all out as much as you can, because I think a lot of people do underestimate how many calories and X amount of weight being squatted, benched, and deadlift in a day can actually burn. And, I mean, again, you're still a younger cat. You're growing up. I mean, dude, your body's yet to get to even its peak yet. And you're as strong as you are. What are some of your PRs? Are you allowed to share that?
I guess. So, basically, right now I'm recovering my shoulder. Well, before I was injured, I benched a 385 at 178.
Okay, at 178.
And my current squat is 675. Current
Wow.
deadlift is 655. All raw.
No, I saw it. I saw it. I saw it back there. No shoes even. It's almost like Fight Club. So wow, man. I mean, you know, I asked you before. You had no goal set typically, like that you didn't mention. But is there going to be something like I feel and I believe you're gonna be that guy. You're the man. That's what it is. Like I feel like I want to say it right now to everybody who's watching that this guy right here is the best. And you're hearing me say it right now. And I think you're definitely going to prove it. You mentioned to me you were training 2.5 years.
Yeah, so I in powerlifting, that's not that I just started.
Yeah,
basically.
you just jumped into
And
it.
I'm already at the high level.
I mean, you're crushing it with your PRs. Coach, you're doing a hell of a job, Coach. And Ma, whatever you're cooking, I'm hoping Jordan's gonna invite me over one of these days because I definitely got to see what it's all about.
She'll feed anybody.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about, brother. I love it. I love that home feeling. So again, going back into your training, is this also something you feel comfortable sharing? Is there a training like regiment that you follow? I know typically when you're building up your strength, you have to jump around from your rep range to percentages. Is this something you do? Or for the fans listening, are you somebody that just goes in the gym and you're like, you know, I'm going to fucking max out every day?
No, you definitely can't just go in and max out every day.
Thank you.
Sure, we may be meatheads, but we're intelligent meatheads, if you will.
Thank you.
So, yeah. All the strong, here's what most people don't see and where they get discouraged. If you look on a lot of YouTube or Instagram or Twitter or whatever social media handle you watch, you see a lot of guys lifting this ludicrous amounts of weight, but that's not what they do on a daily basis. That's simply that's their heaviest lift they're gonna do for a long time. Most of all the training and work you see them do is a lot lower than that. Because if you try to go that hard, that heavy all the time, you will get injured.
Yeah.
And you can't have that. The best power lifters are the one that can stay in the game the longest.
Yes.
Because it takes time to inch out that extra 10 pounds, extra 5 pounds. Just keep going up.
Now, when coming to training, and we talked about this already before, but this is for the fans. Do you implement any cardio into your regiment yourself?
Me personally, I know I should, but I feel like conditioning wise, I'm just fit enough to recover from my workouts between reps and sets.
Okay.
But if you're a powerlifter and you find maybe if you're a super heavyweight, it'll be okay. You might have 10 minutes between each set. But for me, since I'm basically, I guess you can call a lightweight at 93 kg, which is around 205 in pounds. I'm at 6 feet tall. I feel like I'm pretty fit because I'm not even 200 pounds right now. So I feel like I'm pretty fit. So between each heavy set, I'd say 5-minute break.
Okay. And you're not huffing and puffing and walking
No,
around?
I'm just walking around calm, trying to stay warm. Because the gym I train in is it's basically a fitness center, so it's not really powerlifter based. And you're in powerlifting gym and you're lifting heavy, you really want to be warm. Because the synovial fluids in your joints, you really need those warm and ready to go.
Oh, yeah. So no big-ass fans above your head spinning.
No, you need to stay warm. If you can come in, just come in your snuggie, just stay warm the entire time.
What about stretching for yourself? Do you go through a stretching regimen? I see a lot of sometimes even the strongmen or the power lifters, as odd as it may seem, because they're so huge, you're like, can that guy even stretch? But a lot of them are very flexible.
Yeah.
I mean,
you have to be. Here's the thing. If your body is too stiff and you try to move a lot of weight into a position that your body doesn't want to do with, even if you don't even have any weight on your shoulders, chances are you probably get hurt. You want everything to be not super loose because you need strong, stiff tendons to move a sustainable amount of weight. Like if you have a guy like, say, Ray Williams, which is, there's no words to describe. He squatted 1,080. How are you doing that? Raw, really?
Yeah.
Like you'd be surprised. If his body was pretty loose, he wouldn't be able to to produce that force effectively. It's like squatting on a mattress, so you want to be not really stiff, but you want to be in good standing with the weight. So when you lock up, when you get tight, everything moves. As soon as your body starts to move, the bar starts to move.
Yeah. When now, when you go into the gym and you train through your weekly regimen or your monthly regimen, do you have a more than 90% PR test, like bi-weekly or bi-monthly, or how does that work out for you to gauge your strength? Like,
so basically, during training is usually about a 3-month period before I'll test again.
Okay.
So the first month, it's hell on earth. It's volume like crazy. Like I remember days when it's like 25,000 pounds of volume on squats alone, and then you have to go bench, which I guess bench is pretty easy. But after 25,000 pounds of volume, your body is finished.
How long is that, like, transition right there? Like, you just squatted that much weight. How long does it take for you to go from there to the bench and be like, okay, let me load up the bench and get ready?
So for me, like, after I'm done squatting, I might take a little break, drink some Gatorade or my BPI or, whatever it is to recover, rehydrate, and get back in the game. So basically around 30 minutes, I'll just sit, talk with the guys, warm back up for the bench, and get through that day.
So you squeeze out pretty much like a 30-minute rest. So your gym sessions, what's the longest and what's the shortest gym session for you?
So basically for me, I am a gym rat.
Okay.
Like, people think I live in the gym because my workouts can take so long. My training can take so long because if you're a bodybuilder, you might have 30-second break, 40-second break just to keep the blood flow in there, pump it up, hypertrophy. Yeah. When you're a powerlifter, you have to make sure every set, every rep, you're well rested and ready to go. So it'll take 5 minutes or more between each one of my sets. And if I have, 10 sets for the day, 20, you can see how that can easily get drawn
definitely,
out.
I mean,
especially when it gets later on during training, when that last couple of sets is killing you, you might need a longer break.
No, definitely. So we talked about the food and how to progress and how things have been going. What's your take on some of these strongmen or power lifters who have gone vegan? You think these guys are full on legit? What's your take on it?
I don't really trust it, to be honest. I mean, I'm not trying to say like a meathead, like, oh, if you don't eat meat, you're not a man or something. Vegetables absolutely have their place. But it's my belief, you can take it as you want it. If you're truly trying to be at the top of your game, you're going to have to throw some meat in there. Because to eat the same amount of calories and protein and vegetables, don't get me wrong, there's protein in vegetables. All protein comes from vegetables.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
The animals we eat the plants. So you can see how that works. But the thing is, just meat is just so much more calorically dense, nutritionally dense. And you really don't want to be bloated and have all that, just so much volume of vegetables in your body. And when you're walking around and you have on a tight belt and you got to squat 700 pounds, you might throw up a little bit.
And it's pretty fibrous, a lot of those.
You don't want to take that and go to the gym to squat heavy. You might have
might not be a fan favorite.
You'll have an accident eventually. But yeah, they have their place. But I mean, sometimes you can't just believe everything they say. Like, I saw this. Oh, I don't want to get Netflix documentary, please. And I forgot the name of it, but they were saying a lot of things, and if you really searched it up, you would be like, okay, that they blatantly lied right there. Like, the research, I don't believe in like hearsay and stuff. I like research. I like facts.
Like to look it up.
I like to look it up. Because just because some guy that at the gym that's big says this works, doesn't mean you should listen to it.
You should look for the facts.
I need facts here. I don't like opinions.
I feel you on that. I think a lot of people as well. I've mentioned this before. Just because you've seen it on the internet doesn't make it real.
No.
And a lot of people these days, their attention span is 15 seconds from, the short videos they watch on IG, or they just scroll through their Facebook or Twitter or whatever the case is. And if it doesn't catch their eye, they don't open it. So I feel that same way too. Just because you've seen it or read it, doesn't make it so.
Like, it's just a fad. Like,
you gotta look it up.
If someone says they're vegan, everyone's like, oh, he believes in veganism. He believes in saving animals. Don't get me wrong. Animal cruelty is wrong, but let's be honest here. Let's be blatantly. we eat meat.
Yeah.
Animals eat meat. Animals eat other animals. We
Yeah.
have to survive. That's just
you
how
know,
it is.
I did the vegan diet myself before, almost 4 months. Not that I was knocking it or anything like that, but I wanted to try it. I definitely tried it out. I think 4 months is definitely long enough.
Yeah.
I would say during the time, obviously I wasn't a power lifter. I just like to maintain. I didn't lose much strength. I didn't feel destroyed or anything like that just because I switched to it. But again, different goals are going to need different diets.
Yeah. So basically, when you first started, you said you weren't powerlifting at all, right?
Mm-mm.
So basically, you weren't training to be optimally as strong as you possibly can.
No, I was in a maintenance.
And you also said you lose any strength. But my thing is, just because you didn't lose any strength doesn't mean you didn't gain any.
Was that what you're gonna say?
No, but basically, just because it was good enough for you to sustain your strength doesn't mean it will be good enough for you to reach maximal strength. You understand what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Just because it's good enough for this doesn't mean it's good enough for that.
Yeah. I had a gentleman on my podcast, one of my good friends, Juan, and he was huge into the keto diet.
Yep.
He absolutely loved it, but he wanted to compete and step on stage. And his trainer was like, yeah, here we go. We're going to shake that up and we're going to put you on a new diet. And dude, he's back on the boat. He's eating carbs again. He just knows how to moderate it. And the guy looks great. He's full. I mean, I believe he took second in his class and third in the all around. So, kudos to him. He's 50 years old. I mean, it's like you said, you got to set your sight on what you're going after. And again, if you need meat, you need to eat meat if you're going to be in this game, right?
Here's the thing. Basically, humans have not changed relatively in a very long time, thousands of years. So why should the diet change? If it worked for them and they were pretty, I'm not going to be like, they were pretty fit and strong. You know this. So why is it that automatically now we have to change diet because it's better for us?
Well, I believe it's like you said, it's kind of somewhat of a fad.
Yeah.
And we saw the keto, we saw paleo roll through, and then we saw keto roll through, and now it's the vegan rolling through. It's to see what's next.
What's next?
What's next. And I feel like just things come in just, spurts of time, and it depends on what's the next hot trend, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
that's just what it's gonna be.
It's just a fad. Maybe it'll come and go, but it's also pretty dangerous. Like, I was reading this thing, and there was this couple in Australia who had their child on like some vegan diet.
Yeah,
kid wasn't getting any milk, any dairy, and unfortunately the baby died.
Ooh.
And at that point, people really need to start opening their eyes. Like, okay, they're like, dairy is bad, all this stuff is bad. I'm like, the baby died because it wasn't getting any milk. So you should be able to put two and two together. Like, maybe baby needs milk.
I feel you on that. Well, let's scan out from diets now that we know what is needed to go on and to perform better. What's out of the big three, what's your favorite lift between squat, deads, and bench? What's your go-to?
Oh, man, that's easy. Any day of the week, twice on Sundays. That's squat, baby.
Squats all day?
That is squat. That's so some people say the true test of strength is the deadlift. I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm not going to say you're right. But for me, you really need to squat. Because that's where the power comes from. It's like, you see a lot of guys that can deadlift.
Like, you're putting it on your back.
You're putting it on your back. You see a lot of guys that can deadlift 700 pounds, but they squat like 400.
Yeah.
450.
Yeah.
Like, it happens. But if you see a guy that squats 700 pounds, chances are he can deadlift 700 pounds.
I feel like the squat somewhat evens out to an even playing field with those who know how. Just like you showed us back there in our gym. I know sometimes they're like, oh, you're a shorter guy, you can bench more. Or, you're a taller guy, you can't squat as much. I saw you back there wreck it.
Like, I'm not going to say I'm super tall, but I'm taller than a lot of guys in my gym, and I can out-squat them any day.
Yeah.
So it's
I'll vouch for that.
The squat is really, deadlift is a lot of leveraging. Squat, to put your squat up, you just need to get bigger. I'm going to be honest with you. just get more muscle.
Yeah.
Because leverages don't really work. You can have short limbs, sure, that's going to help for a while, but you just need to get bigger.
How much of it would you say is technique for you?
Definitely. If you
in a
don't have
whole.
good form, it's going to hurt you in the long run, and just blatantly your numbers. Like, you'll see a lot of guys, they try to squat, but they'll never practice decent form or good form or perfect form.
So then it just comes back to bite you.
It just comes back to bite you. Just learn from the beginning and just keep adding. Keep adding.
You ever have the scenario where you fell off and then you had to like regather yourself for form? Like maybe your legs were growing or your back got wider than what it was?
No, not really. Well, I had I guess you can call it a minor injury, which it happens. No matter how safe you try to be, it's just going to happen.
Nice.
Like, no matter how good or perfect your form is, life happens. That's life.
Yeah.
It happens, but it didn't, luckily, it wasn't serious. I was out the game for maybe a month.
Yeah.
6 weeks, but that's nothing. I recovered, came
That's
back.
good.
I was right where I was a month later. Muscle memory, everything just snapped back.
Now, traditionally, your routines are bench, squat, deadlift, correct?
Yes.
Do you, because you're in hell of great shape. You look like you're very well rounded down from your arms to your legs. You're very well built. Do you also touch up on like arms, shoulders, anything like that? Like when you're at the gym, use any different type of equipment? Is that part of like...
Yeah. So basically, if you want to be a great powerlifter, the best powerlifters, as I've said before, are the ones with the most muscle in their weight class. So you'll have a lot of powerlifters that be like, oh, no, I won't do that. That's bodybuilding. I'm a powerlifter. You have powerlifters or bodybuilders who are like, no, I'm not going to do any heavy deadlifts or anything because that's powerlifting. But I feel, or I should say, I know the two definitely coincide with each other. If you're a powerlifter and you can gain a lot of muscle doing strictly powerlifting, squat, bench, deadlift. That happened to me. I gained a lot of muscle just doing that. But you really make a lot more gains if you start incorporating a lot of bodybuilding accessory movements.
Okay.
Even if it's just bicep curls, tricep push downs, stuff like that, high bar squats, front squats, 60 squats, it all helps because the more muscle you have, the more weight you move, the better you'll be.
It reminds me of Ronnie Coleman. Obviously, I know you know who Ronnie Coleman is.
Oh man, definitely.
I mean, you remember the legendary.
Dude.
You remember the legendary squat?
How do you not?
And his only regret was
I didn't do 5. I could have got 5 easy reps.
Dude, how insane is that?
When I saw that video, I was like, oh my god, this dude will not let up. I showed my coach. We were like, yeah, that sounds like Ronnie right there. That's definitely him.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, when I saw that, I was like, here's the thing. What's impressive to me is like if he was a powerlifter and that did that, I'm like, yeah, that's 800 pounds. Either way you cut it, that's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
He was a bodybuilder that did that on a cut.
Yeah.
That means he was not at his best. He did that on a cut.
Yeah, he wasn't full.
Calorically deficit.
Yeah, he was
cutting down. He repped 800 pounds. Like,
and said he should have done more.
Like, I could have done a nice 5 easier. I'm like, at what point do you draw the line at human? Let's be honest. Like, this dude is insanely strong. Like, what? Dude just reps out 200-pound dumbbell. I think I saw him do 200 for 12.
Yeah.
I was like, what? He has me in each arm just playing with me. I'm like, oh, my God.
Well, that being said, I watched another podcast where Ronnie was on, and he had mentioned, they had asked him if they thought the heavy lifting is what jacked them up, and he said he feels it was the doctors who performed the surgeries weren't, I guess you could say, qualified to perform those surgeries. What do you think? I mean, you look at the videos, Ronnie's always been strapped up. He has his knees wrapped up, has his belt on. What do you think in that situation for any of these guys who have ever powerlifted? You think it breaks you down that bad, or do you think this is just on them not taking care of their bodies?
Here's the thing. I feel the reason why he also got those injuries because Ronnie was a massive dude. Like, when you have that much muscle, you can move more weight than your body is supposed to move. Yeah. And couple that with the cutting, because when you're cutting, your body is not in good standing. Everything just goes down. Your health, everything goes down. True. But you have to pay the price. Especially for bodybuilding, where you have to get within like 6%, 4% body fat, which most people don't understand. They think they're like 6%. No, dude, 6%. If you saw 6%, you see the muscles in your eyeball move.
Yeah.
Like that's super lean.
Yeah.
So that's already not healthy for your body. But good thing is they don't stay in that place for a long time. And the amount of weight he was moving. I mean, 800 pounds for reps. That's scary.
It's all around. I mean,
it's all around.
That is leg
so everything coupled plus the knee wraps.
Yeah.
Knee wraps are dangerous. I'm gonna be honest with you. Even though I'm a powerlifter, I'll tell you straight up, knee wraps are dangerous. All that pressure, because if knee wraps can add 100,
holds it all together. Is that why you're saying that?
Yeah, because remember, if it's tight enough to where it can help you put 80, 100 pounds on your squat, it's pretty tight around your knees.
Yeah.
That kind of pressure on your tendon over long periods of time, because it's not like they do it once. They've been doing it for years.
Shit.
Every day, just wrapping up. After a while, your body starts to degrade a bit.
So these guys have the conception of, this is going to help and better my lift.
It will help in the long. You're paying it's checks and balances.
Yeah.
You have to play the game. You're making risks.
Yeah. You're just paying that price.
You just gotta,
in the long run.
They'll pay the price. If you tell a dude it'll take 20 years off his life, he'll be like, yeah, but I'm gonna have that record though. He'll do it. He'll do it, dude. Oh man, he'll do it.
You've seen him out there, huh?
It every day.
I think heavy prices when I see you guys with the smelling salt.
Yeah, I mean we all have our demons. I'm not gonna lie. I was when I first started lifting, I didn't think of anything of it, and then I was on Amazon and I was like, I'm gonna order this. I'm gonna try it.
What was it called? The
brain pain. Brain pain. I was like, this is nothing. This is just the ignorant me saying, oh, I can do it. It's nothing. That label was not lying. I first took a hit of that thing. I felt a jolt go to the back of my skull. I was like, it's time to go. It's time. Like I
so
started getting red. So
that's the feeling you feel when you take it.
When
like,
you sniff
you're
that
ready
thing,
to go.
When you sniff that thing, it's like instant pre-workout. Like your brain is like put 20 more pounds on there. You can do it. Even if you have no business, even if you just failed it, you're like, I can do another one with more weight. Like, you just failed it. Then those torques like, you got this, bro. It's like a friend behind you massaging your shoulders.
Yeah.
You got this. You can do it.
What would you say, summing it up? Let's give it a wrap up here. What would you say to young and upcoming not even powerlifters? What would you say to them from how far you've come? Because you're still young yourself, but you seem very mature in this game, and you seem like you have like the new passage coming down your path. Like I've heard things from you that you've mentioned, things with the knee wraps and just the way you feel with certain diets and all that. What would you say to anybody that's upcoming? Any little bit of knowledge or anything that you've learned that you're like, I wish somebody would have told me that out the jump?
All right, so this is for all the young bodybuilders or powerlifters or anyone that's plays sports in general. If you feel it in your heart that this is what you love, this is what you want to do it. If you feel like you can make a career out of it, do it. If there are people around you telling you that this is dangerous, I mean, no one's going to remember you if you were just another guy. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Like, it'll be the closest people around you to tell you the main ones to stop. Like, if your family is telling you to stop, your friends are telling you to stop, you should listen to them, take their advice, but also step back and really evaluate what you're doing. Because if you know for yourself that I'm doing this properly, safely, and I can do this for a long time, and I can even make a career out of it, and it makes you happy, why not? It's not their lives. It's your life. You only have one life to live. Gotcha. You have to live it to how you want to do it.
And this is what you love. This is what you believe you're here to put,
exactly.
Just to put into work here. This is what you're here for.
I put that bar on my back. Nothing else matters. Like when there's, oh man, life is completely simple.
Good
elegant.
days, bad days.
It doesn't matter. Something just makes sense. Like I watched a video. I think Brian Shaw said it himself. No matter how bad my day was or something didn't go right, as long as I can go to the gym and train, something made sense. And I believe those words completely.
Brother, after seeing you do the work that you did back there and at BBO's liftoff, I got to say, I've never seen anybody put it so well together through your technique and just the power and the explosion that you've demonstrated. I got to say, again, this is a seen it first here And I know you truly love this. I can say that. So for those of you who aren't following Jordan, follow him. I know he doesn't care about the social media. He doesn't put up a lift so he gets 1,000 likes. He's not squatting and deadlifting so some chicks can slide in his DMs. I mean, if you ladies want to, by all means, go ahead.
That won't stop anyone.
Let him know Abe at the Scoop hooked you up on it, and go ahead and get at my boy. But outside of that, I can tell you really love it because you just go and live it day in, day out, and you're not even looking for the fame.
Not at all. I put on my headphones and I go to work. If you say something to me, I'll be like, I can't hear you. I have my 5-finger death punch going, drowning pool, disturb. Like, I'm just going at it. Next thing I know, I turn around, people are looking at me like, where did you come from?
Yeah. Well, that was what I said. During that liftoff, during that competition, local competition, during each second rep, I was hearing this kid just slamming people. And I believe you said something like, I came here to lift. Where's the competition at? Or something like that. And I was like, who the hell is that? And I got up and I walked over and I saw you there. And on top of that, I remember earlier seeing you and you were sick. And I'm like, this guy, you get 3 lifts. By the second lift, you're dogging everybody in almost every weight class. And you were sick. And I was like, this guy is going in.
I dogged everyone in every weight class.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying. In every weight class. On the second one, that's what I said.
Like, after that, I could have opened with my second, but my coach is like, you're sick. Just play with them. Don't do nothing.
Yeah, and I saw that, and I was like, wow. I'm like, even Chris here, our CEO, he was like, wow, we got to get that guy down here. So, you know what, brother? From us here at BPI reaching out to you, we got to get that YouTube running. We got to get that social media up and running.
Yeah, definitely.
You definitely deserve it. I'm not trying to milk time away from you, but this is something you love.
That's what I want to put all my time into.
And I think the people should know what you know, and I think you're that, not only that next coach, but you're what your coach exactly wants for you.
Yeah, just gain knowledge and pass it on. That's what he said to me when he first started training me. Gain the knowledge and pass it on. Make the sport better and better each time, each generation.
Man, bless that man. Bless that man. Coach, one day I'm going to come by and get schooled up and get some lessons. Again, Jordan, thank you for coming by, brother.
No
and
problem.
Getting in a lift with us. Take it easy on them out there, all right? We'll catch you guys later. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, and Stitcher. I'll see you next week.